Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today, answering some of your questions. We're doing a Q&A. I haven't done very many of them in a while. Kind of been waiting for the season to start back up. And so today, I want to talk about minor league salaries. I made a video on this a couple years ago, but I still get a lot of questions in that video. And I want to highlight a couple of things because I don't think some people believe me when I'm talking about how much money I made when playing in the minor leagues compared to the major leagues. I think most people realize that minor leaguers don't get paid that much money, but I don't think most people have any idea how low it really is. And if you see in the news, there's been people that have been fighting for getting minor leaguers paid more because it's basically way, way, way below minimum wage, like way below. And so I want to talk. Let me talk a little bit about kind of what I got paid, and then we'll talk about. It's amazing how little that pay has changed over the years. So let's go back to when I got drafted. I got drafted in 2006, and basically salaries for minor league players during their initial contract, which is usually a 5 or 6 year contract, is anywhere from like $1,100 a month. That's what I pretty much got paid my first year, around $1,100 a month, up to typically about $2,200 a month. That's what you'll get. I think I got $2,100 a month in AAA. Okay, and so you're getting paid anywhere usually from $1,000 to $2,000 a month in the minor leagues. Now, you can get paid more after those 5 or 6 years. You can start to get paid more, and I'll talk about kind of what I got paid at that point. Also, if you get put on the 40 man, which happened to me, you can get paid more in the minor leagues, okay? But let's go back to like what 90+% of minor leaguers get. Again, somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 a month. And this is very, very important. You only get paid for the months that you're playing in season. You do not get paid in spring training. Okay, you just get meal money, $20 a day. When I was playing, I think it's $25 a day. So you only get paid in season. Okay, so let's break this down level to level. So I get drafted in 2006. I go to short season A ball. The season begins in like the middle or so of June. And so I play half of June, July, and August. And then the season's over. So my first year I got paid about, let's just say $1,000 a month, right around there. That's before taxes. And then you got to get taxed on that money. You also have to pay a little bit for your housing wherever you're living. I lived in a hotel, so I had to give some money for housing. You also have to pay dues to the clubby. But so I only played like less than 3 months. So I made less than $3,000 that first year. And again, once you take out taxes and once you pay for your housing and all that stuff, you're really essentially you're almost not getting paid anything. Okay, and you have to also remember that you're working pretty much 7 days a week. You usually have like 1 day off a month in the minor leagues. Usually it's 1 day a month. And you're working long hours. Like typically you'll go, you have a 7 o'clock game at night, but you go out in the field around like 1 or 2 o'clock, and then you get out usually around 10 or 11. So you're typically working like 8, 9 hour days. Plus you're also traveling a whole lot. So you're putting in a lot of hours to play minor league baseball, and you're really not getting paid anything. Okay, so first year making before taxes about $3,000 or so, and it doesn't really go up very much from there. Okay, so when my next year I went to high A, and I think in high A I made like $1,200 or something like that. And that season was started in April and went until the beginning of September. Okay, and you don't get paid for the playoffs either. I need to mention that also. You don't get paid for the playoffs. So that season I got called up to Double A halfway through. We won the championship. You don't get paid in the playoffs. I think we got like meal money. Okay, so let's talk about that season. Okay, I made $1,200 or so in high A. You play April, May, June, July, and August. 5 months, $1,200. What's that? About $6,000 before taxes and all that stuff. Okay. And then I got called up to double A, and I think double A salary was like $1,700 a month. Okay. And then the next year I went to triple A, and that was, I think, like around $2,100 a month or somewhere right around there. All right. Now, if you repeat a level, I think it was like you get $100 more a month. So, like, if you make $1,200 in like high A, and then you repeat the next year in high A, I think your salary goes to $1,300. So, and if you just keep repeating, I think you keep adding $100 a month onto that. So, it's a pretty good deal. Now here's an interesting statistic that I found. Since 1976. Major league salaries have increased more than 2,500%. Minor league salaries have increased about 70%. Okay? So minor league salaries have like barely gone up at all. It is crazy. And I was just talking to a couple of professional players that I work with or that I train, and their salaries are almost identical to what I got paid back in 2006, my first year. So even in the last 12 years, they like really haven't increased at all, which is, again, amazing. So compare this to major league salaries, okay? When I was playing, the league minimum in the major leagues was for a season. Again, you get paid in season. Was like $400,000, okay? So the year I got called up, let's say in 2008 when I made my debut. Before I got put on that 40-man or before I got called up, I was making about, I think, like $2,100 a month. And then I got called up and made over $60,000 a month. I think $65,000 a month, okay? So it went from like $2,000 a month to over $60,000 a month. So it is quite a jump, all right? Now, when I went back down to the minor leagues, because now once you get called to the major leagues, you go in the 40-man, okay? So this is where you can make a little bit more money, right? So I went up to the big leagues and got paid, 60 whatever thousand a month. Minor league minimum again at that time was 400,000. Now it's much more. Now it's like this year is like 500 and like almost 50,000. I think was league minimum. So it's again, major league salaries keep going up. Okay, minor leagues do not. So when I went up to the big leagues, okay, that next year I got sent back down to AAA. And when I went back to AAA, I was on the 40-man now. So I think I got paid that year. I think I made like $65,000, okay? So it's really key. If you can get on the 40-man roster, you don't get paid like the $2,000 a month anymore. You end up getting paid, much more than that. I'm not smart enough to figure out that math, but again, I got paid about $65,000 for the year. And again, you only get paid in season. I want to reiterate that because the other videos that I've made, people keep yelling that I'm doing the math wrong, but it's only when you're in season. It's not in spring training, it's not in the playoffs, and it's not in the off season. It's only when there's a regular season going on, okay? So usually in the minor leagues, the minor leagues are a month shorter than the big leagues. So April, May, June, July, and August are typically those 5 months of the season. You don't play, September's like for the playoffs in the minor leagues, okay? You don't play regular season games in September, okay? So again, you get paid a little bit more that way when you make the 40-man roster, all right, which is really nice. And then if you are a minor league free agent, so let's say you finish up that first contract, which I did. Mine was a little different. I ended up getting on the 40-man, and then I got non-tendered, which made me a free agent, and blah, blah, blah. But then you can negotiate a contract. And so I ended up playing for, I think, my first year signing with the Nationals. I think I made like $85,000 or something for that year. And then the next year in the minor leagues, I signed for $100,000, and I think I did $100,000 the next year. So if you can make it through those first 5-6 years, or you can get on the 40-man quick, and then hopefully just go to the big leagues. But if you get non-tendered and become a free agent, then you can play in the minor leagues and actually like make a living, which is really, really nice. The other thing I want to say that I should have mentioned earlier is that when it comes to minor league salaries, if you get drafted high, you can get a really, really large signing bonus. And so I got really lucky. I got drafted really high and I got a large signing bonus. So I pretty much lived off of my signing bonus. Okay. But there's a lot of players. Most players in the minor leagues are not getting drafted that high. And so they're trying to live off of these minor league salaries, which are incredibly low. And we just talked about you can't live off them, right? Like even if you literally eat off the dollar menu at McDonald's, you're gonna run out of money. And so I've seen a lot of players actually stop playing baseball because they're like, I can't afford to play anymore, which is crazy. And there were certain players that were able to keep playing because their parents would help support them, right? They lived at home and they'd send them an allowance. And then almost every player in the off season had to work, okay? And so, again, I don't know if everyone realizes that. But I would say most players would work in the offseason. Even though I signed for a large signing bonus, I still worked in the offseason. So I remember in the offseason I used to give lessons, and then I also my family owned a catering business, and I actually used to wash dishes. I don't know why I was doing that, but I was. So most players work in the off season, okay, and most have to work in the off season. It's not just because like, hey, yeah, I'm bored. I'm sure guys would rather just sit around and play Fortnite all day long. But players have to work. A lot of minor league players have to work in the off season, again, to be able to afford to play professional baseball. So crazy stuff. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out there. Hopefully I covered it all. If I forgot anything, if you have any more questions, just let me know. Shoot in the comment section below. I try to answer everybody's questions, so definitely do that. Subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. Share the video with a friend. Give us a like, a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And that's all I got. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.